Never let that be.
Welcome to the cave.
Welcome to the cave. It gets gayer every time I hear that fucking intro.
It does.
I thought it was the man cave.
It was the man cave, but then
They
by
made
the
us
way,
change it.
Yeah, this is Jim. Who I was wondering whenever Jim's like, "Hey, I want to do this," and I'm like, "Who else is who's going to listen to it then? If you're doing
Yeah,
it,
exactly.
You're my
now
only
our
audience
one
member."
listener's gone.
Well, he's still
Well,
gonna.
now-
He'll
now-
still listen to it.
Now my girlfriend's gonna listen.
Yeah,
I told her she's gonna have to listen.
nice.
There
She
we
said
go.
I had to give her a shout out. Shout
What?
out Allison Stuhler. So that's out of the way.
Allison, your boyfriend, has a face for radio.
But but it was the man cave, and then Brett came in here with some fucking propaganda and made Jeff and Josh change their mind to make it the cave. So
I actually,
speaking of
I stood
pop-
strong on the belief that it should have still been the man cave.
Well, listen.
It's more politically correct to be
That's-
the cave.
that's true, and
Well-
we want to be politically correct.
The cave just had a sounder cool to it. A cooler sound to it.
A sounder cool.
Exactly.
This is who we're taking our fucking orders from.
Wow.
So speaking of propaganda, we're doing this episode on conspiracies, and I don't know if any of you know anything about Agenda 21. That's
I
some
heard-
crazy shit.
I heard Glenn Beck talking about it like a year ago on one show.
Yeah, he's
But
a big
that's all I've ever
activist.
heard.
I've read about it quite a bit. It's fucking scary if any of it's true, but
You might want to
Basically,
fill me in.
Someone designed how the U.S. should run, and I think whoever did it was a big fan of Hitler, and with the the cattle cars and the quote unquote re-education camps as they call it.
By the way, you have glitter on your face.
He
What
made
were you
sure he
doing
looks
before you got
nice.
Sorry, the stripper. I told her not to get it on me.
I've heard a lot of stories about you with strippers.
And
Are they
glitter.
true?
Let's keep those off the podcast, please.
Well, now you just confirmed it.
Yeah.
You could have been like, "What are you talking about? I've never even seen a stripper."
I've never seen a stripper. I
With
just
their
see
clothes on.
I just
Yeah, with the clothes on.
I just see women. I don't see strippers. I don't see you guys label them as that. That's just really mean. I look at them. Hey, those are people too. Hearts of gold.
God, you're such a liar. So Agenda 21, it's actually not to change the U.S. It was presented by the United Nations.
Yes, it was for one world order.
Yeah. So they basically want a one government for the whole world. And for a long time, it was just a conspiracy theory. But then, I mean, the papers are out there. It was actually presented. The UN really did make it. So, I mean, now it's just implementing it.
Fifth Element. Fifth
I
Element.
don't
was
know.
that in the Fifth Element?
No, I don't know. I mean, he was the president of the world in that movie.
Okay.
Isn't that how they say like all the doomsday prophecies of people say like the world ending, the Antichrist, one world order, all that
RFID
shit.
chips and all that kind of shit.
all that crazy shit.
But you are right in that it is a kind of an attack on the U.S. because we're like the last ones to still have freedom and we can still have guns and
We're
can't
never
really,
gonna get rid of that.
You can't really take over the world if there's a group of people that have guns.
Well,
So
look at it this way. I was reading something on Scott Dorlock's Facebook post, and it was about Seth Rogen and the comment he made about, against American Sniper.
yeah,
And
it's
Liam
weird that we
Neeson.
get so mad at what comedians say. I
Well,
don't
yeah,
understand that.
and he
Anyone
didn't
can
mean
say
it like everybody
anything.
thought
Yeah,
it, you
well,
know?
I mean, I'm not neither here nor there, but I'm always able to give someone the benefit of the doubt, especially with how media twists everything that's said. They could take one sentence and make you look like a douche. So I'm gonna give him the benefit of the doubt at least. If I was standing there in front of him, maybe I would understand what the point he was trying to make. But he was saying, that it reminded him of the movie Inglourious Bastards, that German sniper movie. Anyways, as they were talking about all the anti-gun things, Liam Neeson came up and he was against guns and kind of spoke out. And the company that provided all the guns for those Taken movies, said we're never going to work with him, blah blah blah, for what he said about the anti-gun thing. He made a statement in there that kind of freaked me out for a second, just because I'm like, holy shit, there's no way the government could ever overthrow. Like, you're never going to get the people to change and like give up their guns. He said there's 7 billion guns. Or no, I'm sorry, that's way the fuck off.
There's
way
one
the
gun
fuck off.
for every woman.
No,
and
no,
child.
there's like it wasn't like 400 million guns or some shit. 3 to 400 million guns, somewhere around there. So it was like enough for every American to have a gun. Like that's how many guns are in the country. I mean, that's what we know of too. I mean, how many guns out there?
I would think it'd be higher than that.
I'm
pretty sure
that's
if I remember
Well-
correctly, I'm pretty sure they said that the ratio was
I thought it was two
one
guns for every person.
I was
Well,
actually
again,
thinking it
we're
was-
talking about registered guns. I mean, me myself, I'm not going to say how many unregistered
I know that's
guns
what I'm
I
saying.
have. But
I'm saying about
Exactly.
registered guns.
But
they were saying that 2 of every 3
let's just
people-
say I have enough
in
registered
comparison.
guns to, me and
Cover
my family
us.
would all. Yeah, exactly. So even if they wanted to like implement anything that would be even remotely trying to take away our rights or anything and try to enforce anything physical, there's no way it's going to happen. I mean, there's just no way. I mean, think about me being in the Guard. If they were like, all right, here's your orders, here's, going along with Agenda 21, you got to disarm the public. Fuck you. Fuck you. I'm not doing it. How many people are going to go against their own people?
Well, I think the key is you don't do it overnight. I think it's a step-by-step process. You're saying that a whole nation wouldn't give up their guns, but that's happened in the past. I mean, Germany gave up their guns.
Australia.
Australia gave up their guns.
They
and
didn't
they're-
have the NRA.
I believe it's Australia. Am I right
Charleston
there?
Heston wasn't over there.
It is Australia though,
I
isn't
think
it?
Yeah, they
America
gave up
has
their
a
guns.
crazy factor that nobody wants to fuck with.
Yeah, but I mean, Australia was founded by prisoners. You don't get much crazier than that.
They
They gave up their guns.
But I don't see it ever happening. And
I hope it doesn't. I think guns
Um,
are. I'm not even a fan of guns. I own, like a fucking 22 and a couple shotguns that I don't even use.
Yeah.
But I think it's important for a free state that free human beings are allowed to have tools to protect themselves.
Yeah, absolutely. But going back to what the Agenda 21 thing was saying and why I said the whole Hitler model was because you read about the FEMA camps and the train cars and taking people to re-education camps and if they can't adapt to society, there's consequences to that, and it's just all the crazy theories are out there and they're not that far off from reality or where it could go.
Well, you don't even have to go overseas to see it. I mean, we had concentration camps for the Japanese during World War II.
Yeah, I always thought concentration camps were people for ADD, because they couldn't concentrate.
What's that joke? Tell the story, Jim, about your uncle. Was it your uncle?
Yeah. Pretty much my nephew was having trouble in school, and he said the main problem was he couldn't concentrate. And I said, well, why don't you send him to concentration camp?
and they're of Jewish descent.
Yeah. my
Nice.
boys. It was, I pretty much stole it from South Park. So.
Oh yeah. See,
Yeah,
I
it
just
was on
do
South
not see how that's funny.
Yeah.
I just do not see it.
I actually have a better Holocaust joke.
Oh,
actually.
yeah, this is really good. Actually,
Let's do it.
I used to work for this guy and his nephew, and he didn't really pay his nephew very well, so his nephew was kind of upset with the guy, and we were working for a Jewish family, so he's the guy's uncle that we're working for is trying to sell doors to this guy, and he's like, well, these solid oak doors they're a lot sturdier, they're a little more expensive. And the hollow doors, they're just they're plywood and hollow.
This
They're-
is
they're
going
little-
somewhere.
No, I already
They're a
know.
little cheaper, and the Jewish guy goes, okay, how much are those hollow doors? How much do those cost? And then he goes, yeah, how much are those doors that are hollow cost?
How much do the
oh man. See, if you can't laugh at stuff like that,
See,
that's-
Josh would be here telling this joke. I'll tell you after. Tell his side. I'll play him for a moment, but go ahead.
that's what makes me so mad about this Joe Rogan thing. Oh, doesn't that just make you thirsty when you hear
Yes.
something like that?
so good.
Once a
But-
picture.
but that's
By the way,
as
my
close to the
wife.
microphone
Shout
as
out
I
to my
could.
wife if she listens to it, because she actually listened to a podcast of ours. I know this because she goes, and you know what? You were sitting there taking shots of American honey, and I was like, oh crap! I didn't know you were listening.
This is a perfect way for our girlfriends to listen how we are without them. This is a way for them
Yeah.
to be like a fly on the wall.
Yeah, this is true.
Not even like 100% though.
Not 100,
Yeah.
because we know that
Yeah,
there
we
is
know
a
that
possibility.
someone's
chance they
listening.
can
Well, at least
Yeah.
one other person.
So
is
shout out to
listening.
my wife. I love you.
But I totally forgot what I was talking about.
We were talking about the Holocaust.
How much
Yeah.
do the
oh,
Holocaust-
the whole thing about people being mad at Seth Rogen and people that jump on these comedians. Like, that's what comedy is to be able to take something that's not so funny and make it funny. Like, I don't understand.
If
that.
everything was taboo to where, oh, well, he's offending fat people, he's offending this race of people, we wouldn't have comedians.
Yeah, I can't
Because-
stand that.
And what I hate is, I hate this, and I'm with you on this because I used to always, like, well, I've always done it. I've always said, like, off-color jokes and jokes that are maybe, you know,
You mean color jokes? Is that what you mean?
that too. But no, I always say off-color jokes to whatever, you know, it could be degrading to whatever type of person. And, you know, there's always people that get offended, and I'm like, okay, well, hold on. How come comedians get to say it? And they're like, well, you're not on stage. I'm like, well, fuck, I could be someday. You never know. So then if I all of a sudden became a fucking comedian, then I'm like, oh, well, I remember him. He was off color, but man, he was funny. And now if I'm not that, it's like, man, he always tells inappropriate jokes.
See, I have like a few. I've practiced making a few bits to, like, if I were to ever go on stage, you know, just to have
I wanna do
comedy
it.
bits. But they're so vulgar. I could be like, I'd have to wait till I was famous to say any of these, because then you're just some racist faggot.
I know,
on
right?
stage.
You're just this racist asshole in this comedy club or
Yeah.
whatever. Open mic
fucking
night.
lynching you at the end of the
Maybe
night.
we should just try a Friends comedy night. where-
Hey,
that would be a good idea.
that
you
would
know?
be
that
good.
is.
You could
That
test
way, you
yourself.
can, yeah, you can say whatever you want.
I would do
that is a good idea.
impersonations.
Sponsored by the Cave.
I would,
Perfect.
I would do impersonations of all of our friends.
Yeah,
Yeah,
you actually
that'd be
did a
good.
really good, Carl. I was laughing my ass off.
Dude, let's hear it then.
Well, it's more the mannerisms.
Yeah,
Oh,
it's
okay.
the Carl has so many mannerisms, and that's what it is. You know, and,
He's a
and-
man of mannerisms.
Yes, he is. When he looks in the mirror, it's the one that gets me. And I'm sorry for the listeners that can't see it, but I'm going to do it for the guys here at the table. He just sits there and he scrunches up his lips, like anatomically smaller than they can get, you know? And they just like scrunch together like this, and he looks like he's chewing like on tobacco in his mouth while he's doing it. So he's
And when
and
does
then
he
he
do
turns his head like back and forth to see, like, I don't know if he's looking at his cheekbones. I don't know what the fuck he's looking at. You know, did he shave both sides of his face? I don't know. You know, he's just. And he has a Clint Eastwood stare on top of it. You know, with everything else going on with his face. So he's
Dude, it'll be a
Fixes
good
his
idea
hat.
to get a little free website for this thing, so that way we can take video, and post it.
No, Mike can do that. Mike can do that on the next podcast. We'll find a picture of Carl doing that face when he's adjusting his hat for 25 minutes.
you gotta capture him when he's not looking, because when he knows like somebody's looking, he won't do it. It's you know, it's crazy. All the things he does, he has to know like nobody's watching him, and then and then he does it, and it's so funny.
You've thought a lot about this.
I've
Yeah,
just
you
watched
have.
him. I watch him
It's a
so
little bit
often
creepy.
You masturbate,
and touch myself.
man. So
Well, so what was the first part? What was it called? The
Agenda 21?
Yeah, Agenda 20. Well, I mean that's something real. That's not
Mhm.
really. I mean, besides Brett's point with that side of the conspiracy thing, but
The FEMA site. Well,
I
I
mean,
mean, the
there's-
FEMA sites are real, though. I mean,
no,
it's
no.
not
I mean,
like,
no. I hear what you're saying, but I mean, if they're talking about doing that, it's more
like a
it's more.
Hitler-esque Holocaust kind of situation, like I was kind of describing. Is that what you're? saying?
No,
It's
what
more
I'm
of a-
just saying is it's less of a conspiracy because it's real. Is what I'm saying.
Yeah,
well, a conspiracy by definition is just a thing that a bunch of people get together and do. It's just an idea that's conspired
It's a-
by a group of people. So by the very definition, Agenda 21 is a conspiracy. It's a bunch of people in the UN that decided to put
I
forth
just
a
thought
plan.
I thought it was written like it was an
Yeah,
actual.
once
Oh,
you
it's a
involve-
real document, yeah.
Once
I mean,
you
I guess
involve
it's your-
documentation, now it can be
pull
considered
it
to
up.
be implemented. You know, and the implementation is on a global scale of if they would do it, and it's pretty wild. I mean, it's just something you just kind of have to research and look into. And like Mike said before, like a couple years ago when it was coming out, you know, and the rumors were going out, the conspiracies were much more crazier than they are now. But I mean, they're still out there, and it just kind of blows your mind that if the UN had FEMA camps that were UN-owned land, and then all of a sudden, if you're there at these re-education camps, like it's regular American laws don't apply because you're on UN soil, and like all these crazy theories were out there, and it'd be like these communities, and you'd have to you have to like offer something like to the to the community. Otherwise, you're booted and
Kicked out.
or
These
something
executive
else.
orders scare the shit out of me.
That is scary.
All the executive orders.
I once
that they're able to-
graphed like all the executive orders by presidents, and the presidents nowadays have so many
Oh
more
my god! No,
executive orders.
I've
than,
looked,
than
and it's ridiculous. Like, there's one where they can actually, basically take over the United States Postal Service as a sort of method of verification of people's address and stuff.
Mhm.
They can basically just say, we need to know where everybody's at. And you need
They
to tell
can
me where
do
these
that
people are.
regardless. Why
Well,
do
I
they
mean,
need the postal
it's
service?
because it's the postal service. It's a lot more involved than that. That's just the shell of it. I'm just
I
stating
think
that they have the
NSA already
authority.
knows where we're all at.
Yeah.
Anyway with their cell
They're
phones.
listening to this.
Well,
right
yeah,
now.
I guarantee you NSA
But,
is going to hear this shit.
Well, yeah, I mean, it's more.
By the way, don't
lines
take
of-
away my clearance. I still need that for my fucking job, please.
I work with a guy that was in.
I don't necessarily believe everything.
He was in communications in the army, and he spoke Arabic. That was his job, is to listen to communication, then I guess transcript it or translate
Transcribe.
it. Yeah, transcribe it. But I asked him. I said, when all this NSA stuff came out, I said, so do you think that they really listen? Like, they record every phone conversation that we have? And he's like, I have like a confidentiality thing that I've signed for 30 years where I really can't say anything. But he goes, you don't have to be on the phone. I'm like, so they're just like, this phone in my pocket right now is being recorded. He's
Yeah,
like,
they
I
have the
would
capability.
be shocked if everything you say isn't somewhere on a database.
Wow.
Yeah. And I was just like, what the fuck? He said they used to drive Jeeps, and when they were in Germany, and they had these satellites that would just bounce off from, and they could listen to conversations in fucking Iraq from Germany. Like people on radios, like CB radios.
Jeez.
Yeah. And that was in the fucking early 90s, so there's no telling what they have now.
Yeah, I actually just watched something pretty recently about Snowden and all of everything that went down with the NSA and how the Google, Facebook, Verizon was huge listed on that. Verizon being like the actual cell provider that they used, and they just housed data. That's all they actually found this room, or this guy that worked there. He actually found a room, didn't even have a door on it, and he thought that was kind of weird. So he kind of looked around, found where the wires went, and found it was split. So basically, the half of the data was going into this NSA secret room, and this was in Verizon. This was a Verizon employee talking about it.
What the fuck?
And basically, he had found, it was split, so everything was going where it needed to as far as the data goes. But then there's this whole extra room where everything is just copied. Everything, text message, phone calls. And then they were interviewing some politician, I don't know who it was, but they were just like, he's like, so does the NSA use, cell information or internet traffic or whatever to view citizens? And he looks and he goes, no, not purposely. And I'm thinking, what does that mean? And he's like, no, maybe it was by accident. But anyway, he just straight up lied, because I mean, I think everybody can agree that we know that shit's going down.
Well, it always bothers me when they lie, because at first it was, well, we can tell who you're talking to and how long we're talking to them. And then it's, well, we search for keywords, and if you say a keyword, then we'll start listening. Or it'll
Yeah.
be recorded, but nobody actually listens to
I
it.
can
just
see
goes
the
into a
purpose
database.
of it, though.
And then it turns into, oh, yeah, well, we can probably actually just listen to it live.
And Obama actually said that you couldn't actually, that they didn't record anything.
Yeah.
They didn't record the telephone conversations, basically nothing personal. So what the fuck would be the point of recording anything then if you weren't listening? He's like, well, we're not listening to what they're saying, and we don't know where they're located or something like that. And what would be the point of doing
I
it?
listened to a thing, a guy who used to work at the NSA was explaining it, and he said that it doesn't make any sense, because they're claiming that they're trying to look for terrorists, but they're bringing in way more information. So it was originally like looking for a needle in a haystack. He's like, would it make any sense to make the haystack bigger if you're looking for a needle? He's like, it doesn't make any sense that they're like, well, we need to record everybody to find the terrorists.
I guess the reason they do it is if they figure out that you were a terrorist or some kind of criminal, they can go back and then listen to everything you've been doing for the last however many years.
So a way to incriminate you in the future.
Mm-hmm.
That's a good point.
Yeah.
It makes
Well,
sense. It's
here's-
still is bullshit. But
As
yeah,
far
I
as
mean,
the
I
whole
get it.
secret thing, like in them lying, I can see the point of that. if you told the general public everything and they knew everything out there, like all the secrets, I mean, it would be fucking chaos. I mean, let's be honest. People are dumb as a population. Like,
I agree with that.
I'm not saying that all people are dumb, but I'm saying people as a population, they're dumb. They are, they overreact. I mean, they will take something, run with it, and go crazy. I mean, we know of something.
Most people just want to live their lives. They don't. Half the people don't give a shit about what's going on.
Yeah,
but
or,
I
or
guarantee
they're just
you, there's,
yeah.
there's
I mean,
enough
that's
people that are
pretty much the point.
irrational, crazy, and just would just, I mean, you'd have fucking radicals everywhere. I see the point of secrecy and trying to lie to protect for the greater good of the people. I get that. I understand that. I totally do. So I mean, I can kind of speak more for that side because I get it. I know like I said, people are irrational as a population.
Yeah, I sometimes have, I mean, even in a line at a grocery store, I look around and I think, how the fuck have your genes made it this long?
Hasn't natural selection just
fucking
weeded you
idiot.
out by now?
Yeah.
Especially when I'm walking through Walmart. Not so
Walmart.
much.
It's got to be Walmart.
Not
it's got to be
not
Walmart.
so much the
Sure.
people. And I don't mean this. I forgot that you worked at Walmart.
No,
More the
I
people
know.
that work there. I'm
Yeah.
like, how is this place running right
Yeah.
now? How is
Yeah.
this place?
Well,
How are the lights on? How is this place not just
haven't you seen
overrun?
the South Park episode? Isn't that?
Yeah, I did. Yes.
That's how it's run.
It was, I mean, imagine working there and being the fucking anomaly and just looking around like, oh my God, these fucking people. They're horrible.
Dude, I
the
was
people
there the
that
other
work there
day
are
and-
horrible.
Didn't you have a degree when you worked there?
No, just an associate's.
But still, I
I
don't
worked
even
there.
have shit.
Half
during
the people
college.
there, I'm sure didn't
Yeah.
even graduate high school.
Yeah. J.R. Vales still works there.
Oh yeah, I saw.
I see him
actually.
some every once in a
Yeah.
while.
Out-
He graduated.
Out in
high school.
O'Fallon, I think he works for that one.
Yeah.
But
Good
I
for
was
him.
I was driving through the parking lot and like dodging shopping carts trying to get just because like every single shopping cart bin is just filled out the ass all the way halfway like it's
Shit.
out the aisle. It's like
Does
It's
Allison
like
not?
goddamn serpentine in the
I would
Walmart
figure somebody
parking lot.
like Allison would totally be opposed to Walmart.
Well, that's a very
yeah,
rude thing
that's
to
kind
say.
of what I would think, but no, she loves it and her family loves it.
Oh, really?
They're bleeding liberals.
No, just because I know how Allison is. I mean, she likes the finer things in life. I figured she wouldn't even like Walmart.
Yeah, that's
So,
why
but
she's with Jim.
Jim is like a fine wine. I can't say it without laughing. Jim's like a shot of whiskey.
She
She's a
obviously
damn
likes to keep
good
some
time.
shitty things
That's
around.
what Jim is. He's a shot of whiskey, and it burns a little bit,
So did you look anything up? Did you look anything up, Jim? Conspiracy wise?
I have one I definitely want to talk about.
Let's do it.
The oil conspiracy.
Ooh.
That's the one that
Yes.
just every day just pisses me off.
Yeah.
Gas prices jump up 30 cents. I'm like, oh, motherfucker. Because I remember hearing this years ago, and it just stuck with me. But whenever gas prices go up by a quarter, the oil companies make $1 billion a day extra. And then when they jump by 30 cents, one day I'm just like, oh, there's an extra $1 billion for these assholes,
It's crazy. And then the Saudi Arabian president just died today or yesterday?
Oh yeah, I saw that. Yeah,
You were
that was-
there? Oh my god! How did
I
that
saw
go
that
down?
He's
on
an
my
accomplice.
on my little Yahoo News feed. But yeah, I did hear that.
So I wonder how that's going to affect the gas prices.
Who knows? I'm not sure exactly what that means.
Yeah, I don't need. Maybe we took them out because we were getting pissed that they were making the gas prices so low.
Well,
Did you guys ever hear about the oil companies and whenever a guy made designed an engine that would run like over 100 miles per gallon or some shit, and he was fucking assassinated?
why are you laughing?
What's
I don't know why.
what's his name?
I don't know, but look it up. I mean, I remember hearing a story about that.
I've heard many stories like that. And the thing is, now that gas prices are so much lower, like I can like feel it, like with my bank account, I'm like every week I look at on my bank website, I'm like, why do I have a lot more extra money than I normally do? I'm like, oh yeah, gas prices are half the price they were 6 months ago.
Yeah, it's crazy
it
how
used
much.
to cost me, $80-$90 to fill up my truck. Now it's like right under $40. That's like, and and that's a week. I mean, I'm saving over $100 a month.
Yeah, I mean that's
like-
a cable bill. That's crazy.
Yeah, which also there's another conspiracy for you.
I got one. This is totally unrelated to government, but it and we'll get back to the gasoline guy that made that engine that of so many miles per gallon, and he was assassinated. Mike's finding it right now. But
Why
the
do you sound so
conspiracy-
depressed?
I don't know. It depresses me when football has conspiracy to it.
Oh, here we go.
I fucking hate it.
Belichick.
And Bella
Belichick.
cheat. Fucking douche. And I don't care if this is a podcast and I'm supposed to remain fucking politically correct or neutral.
I wouldn't
Fuck-
worry about it. No one's listening.
Fuck Bella
yeah,
cheat.
don't worry about it.
Fuck the Patriots. I can't stand them. I mean, how come? All right. I'm so fucking pissed. I need to get my fucking bearings straight. 2004, Spygate happens against the Rams. Okay, what were
2001.
2001.
It was 01 that it happened to the Rams, but
To
I
the
mean,
Rams, yeah.
01 through 04 is I guess when Spygate went down.
The year we lost by 3 points, 17 to 14.
2001.
That was not 01. That was 04.
We won in
No, it was
99. We lost in 2001.
Yep.
Hey, see this wall? See all this Ram shit? I know that.
I even
fact.
know that for sure.
Maybe
oh,
maybe I confuse 1 with 4. It kind of look alike. My
So
bad.
anyway,
My
keep
apologies.
going. Spygate, fuck the Rams. Maybe out of a
Faggot.
team.
Yeah, absolutely.
I've been
Okay,
hearing the.
so
yeah.
we
so go ahead.
no, fuck. All right. Anyways, so 2001 Spygate happens. No repercussions. Nothing. I mean, nothing.
No, they lost a 7th round draft pick.
Yeah.
Oh,
and,
Jesus.
Belichick got fined a couple $100,000, didn't he?
Oh, what's that?
I don't-
In his
I think it
front
was the
pocket?
team that got fined.
Does
but-
the team?
Oh, it's
Yeah.
the team. Oh, okay, because Belichick
Yeah, the
has that
team
in his
lost
front
like
fucking pocket.
$200,000, so that's
So-
Yeah,
oh,
that's
yeah,
like
so
their jock
that's
straps
7
for the year.
that's
that-
like me
that's
losing
7
$20.
That's 7th round draft pick. Oh, damn it. We're not going to have a third kicker. Oh, well.
Hey, but to Belichick's to give him props, he could probably find somebody in the 7th round.
Really?
Yeah, wouldn't he find Brady in the 6th round, 5th or
Yeah, I
6th
think
round?
it's 6th round.
Yeah.
Look that up. I bet it's 5th.
I think it's 6th.
All right, well, keep going. I didn't mean to
Slap
cut
bet
you
on it.
off.
I
So anyways,
don't.
no
I don't really
repercussions.
follow hockey.
No real. Let's be honest. Let's be honest. No real repercussions happened. Losing
No,
a 7th
not
round
even
draft. I
nothing.
mean,
Yeah.
that's nowhere near. And this whole thing in Deflategate.
6th round.
6th round. Oh,
we go.
Yeah.
You get to slap me at any point in time for the rest of my life. Anytime. The window is open.
All right, thanks.
No problem, man. So Deflategate happens in the AFC Championship. Why the NFL? Okay, Ray Rice, we're gonna put the fucking hammer down on you. You know, you beat your wife, even though she was in your face like a crazy, fucking
I hope
crazy.
there's no
person.
women's rights or anyone with common sense listening right now.
Might as well just switch it back to
The
man.
chances. I'm not saying he should ever hit a woman, but I am saying
I'm not saying you should never hit a woman.
I'm not
Just
saying
you should hit
sometimes.
women.
No, I'm not saying you should ever hit a woman.
Okay.
I'm just saying she kept pushing that envelope as far as she could.
God, this is getting horrible.
I'm just kidding. I'm just trying to stick up for Ray Rice a little bit. Anyways, they hammer down on Ray Rice. They hammer down on AP. They hammer down on all kinds of stuff, right?
Let's put things in perspective. They were taking air out of rubber balls.
People bet the
that's,
house.
That's the big thing is the
People
gambling.
bet the fucking house on
Especially
championship
with the
games.
Baltimore game. I mean, the
It was
point
close.
spread. Yeah.
So I mean, yeah, you can put it in perspective. I mean, all right,
People are
Daddy, I
betting
got a
on the-
fucking bruised ass, or I just lost my fucking house with my 5 kids. Yeah, was it your dumbass mistake that bet all that? Sure.
Don't
But
worry, that's the type of person that's beating their kids and wife anyway. They're betting the house on fucking football.
Well, what I'm saying is this: like, it's so fucking ridiculous that if you cheat, in my mind, this is how I personally would wish it would be handled. In my mind, if you cheat at a contest, at a game, you should be disqualified. You're disqualified. You cheated. Whether, let's face it, Indy wasn't going to win that game. They scored 1 touchdown. Boom Herring couldn't fucking catch a ball to save his life. I mean, he missed out on a football or on a touchdown on that. Regardless of whether Indy would have won or Patriots would have still won, you cheat, you should be disqualified. So, to me, I think if you're going to do the right thing, say, well, you're disqualified. The next team that should go to the Super Bowl should be Indy. Indy should go to the Super Bowl. You're disqualified. You cheated. You're done. You're out. After you do that, or some people might say that's a little harsh or severe. Who would ever cheat again? Who would risk that?
Yeah.
Once you laid that hammer down like that, and you spanked that ass harder than anyone's ever spanked it, who is gonna fucking cheat again, or even take the risk? Oh, I don't want to lose my chance out on a fucking Super Bowl.
Well, what about all those people that bet for the Patriots? Now you're going to take all that money away? I mean, if that's the important thing.
I mean,
by making Indy go.
I'm not whatever, man. I mean,
I say you got to come down with suspensions next year. And
suspensions for sure.
Yeah,
I'm saying fucking don't let him play in the Super Bowl.
Gate,
And that was a big
don't even let him play in
thing
the Super Bowl in my mind.
about
no one will ever do it again.
Bountygate is we did that in football. You remember slobber knockers? We used to get the stickers if you knocked the shit out of
Imagine if they did that
somebody.
in the NFL.
So when that came out, I was
Didn't
like,
you get 2 if you stuck your finger up the quarterback's butthole?
yeah.
You got 3 if you get to lick his ear.
Ooh. So when that came out, and they were like, they're bountying people to try to injure players and try to get big hits. I'm thinking, that's fucking stupid. And they got hit hard. It was a year for
big time.
Peyton, and Sean Payton got a year, and so did the defensive coordinator.
Yeah, defensive coordinator guy. Yeah, a bunch of
And a lot of players got 6 games or half a year.
Yeah, there was a lot. Yeah, that's what they need to do.
Yeah.
Next year with the Patriots, because.
So who do you think? Do you guys think that? I guess Tom Brady was behind it. You think he was the one?
He had to have known.
Yeah.
He's touching the ball every play.
Yeah.
And I heard the reason that the Colts found out was when they made that interception.
Yeah.
Then they're like, what the fuck? What's up with this ball?
Yeah.
And then that's kind of how they figured it out, and was like.
See, I heard they had 2 picks during the regular season, and they kind of thought it was one guy that got the same interception twice, or one guy got 2 interceptions, and he wanted to give it to his family. So he gave it to the equipment guy, and the equipment guy, man, this ball's really flat.
Oh,
wow. Just not even thinking. And then the same guy intercepted. He's like, oh, dude, I got 2 from Tom Brady. Here. And then the same equipment guy goes, man, this is weird. This ball's flat. So then when it happened in the
when was that happening? That
I
was
guess
happening
a
during
couple
the regular
weeks.
season.
Yeah, it was a couple weeks before the game, the championship
you got to
game.
put a stop to that shit, because do you know how many millions of dollars are bet every week on the NFL?
Yeah.
And it's all about the point spread, and then just deflated balls can definitely mean the difference between, a few points here and there. I mean,
definitely.
Maybe it's not going to win you a
if
game.
it didn't matter, they wouldn't do it.
What is it?
So, yeah.
It inflates to what? 15, between 13
You
and
can
15?
have it between 12 and a half and 14 and a half, something like that. No, I'm
Oh, I
good.
thought it was 13 and 15.
It's
Either way,
something like that.
2 pounds of air pressure is a lot in a football.
The thing that I think is funny is I watched listened to Tom Brady's press conference, and he was saying that, I'm really meticulous about my balls. I go there and I show them the one that my footballs.
I'm meticulous about my balls too.
But he says like he touches the footballs that he wants, and like those are the ones he wants on the field, and he was so animate about how he wanted these footballs perfect. He doesn't know when he picks up a ball and it's fucking flat as
That's
shit.
bullshit.
Yeah, there's no way.
And
if you're that meticulous.
look at that game film again, because I did. Look at how
sexy Tom Brady is.
How fluid he was throwing it, how they were catching it. It was like they're just playing pitch and catch out there. Like it's fucking pitch and catch. And it's raining, it's cold. That ball should be slipping and sliding and bobbling. Like you should not be that. I mean, I don't care how good you are. That ball should have been bobbling at least some bit.
Should have been bobbling some balls out there.
I don't
just bobbling back and forth.
You guys know that I'm not a big hockey fan, so but I will tell you this. How the fuck does someone who's played the game for years not notice immediately, just like you were saying? How do you not fucking know? There is no deniability. No one can possibly believe any bullshit that anybody would feed that holds that ball, including the center.
Yeah.
And especially the center.
Yep.
Who snaps the fucking ball. How do they not know immediately? Hey, ref, there's something wrong here.
I don't know how the refs didn't know, because they pick up the ball too.
Yeah.
They're
Well,
always grabbing those balls.
Man, I wish I would have read it, but there was
something. I'm sorry, but there was a joke that some actors did about deflated balls. Did you guys hear it? It was on the radio.
Cialis?
I'm gonna
The
no, I'm
Cialis
gonna find it.
Yeah, look it up.
I don't think it was Cialis, but
No,
they were
there's
talking
a
about the
Cialis one between Brady and Belichick, and it is. Look it up. Look up the Cialis Cialis commercial. New England Patriots.
Here, I'm gonna find this because
And
it's funny.
Somebody admitted. Oh, is Brad Johnson admitted that he paid off one of the equipment people during his Super Bowl to manipulate the balls? Did you see that? He paid him
No.
like $10,000.
No, I didn't see that one.
Okay, what is this? Cialis?
Yeah.
How the hell do you spell that?
It was a there it is. It's Dr. Drew. There it is. It's Dr. Drew deflated balls.
Then
Put that on and play it. It's
New
hilarious.
England Patriots after that.
All right, I'll
Yeah.
play yours next, Jeff.
You're on your way to the Super Bowl. But does your game still feel a bit flat? Cialis Inflatable helps fill your balls anytime the moment is right.
Who did this?
Reach under center with confidence, knowing those balls are
Conan?
full and ready to grab. Before starting Cialis Inflatable, make sure your quarterback actually has balls to inflate. Do not play with deflated balls. Side effects may include inflated ego, swelling or painful sacks, loss of draft picks or hoodie sleeves, and hefty fines.
Painful
Why
sacks.
let deflated balls hold you back? Give your balls that extra pump for the big game. Ask
Oh
your
my
equipment
God.
manager about Cialis Inflatable. And stop f***ing cheating.
That's great. That's fucking great.
Told you it's good.
Who did that?
I don't know, but I saw it on Facebook and I was like,
That's
oh my
funny.
God,
What's yours called,
This
Jeff?
is Dr. Drew's deflated balls.
Actually, Rick said he did that.
What he
hit
deflated
3
all the
horses.
balls?
He deflated
No,
the
he
balls.
made that video.
Yeah.
He didn't deflate the balls. Come on.
He made the
Dr.
balls
Dre?
out of horse skin
No,
instead of
you put
pig
Dr.
skin.
Dre instead
Oh.
of Dr. Drew. Dr. Dre. Oh, boy.
Dr. Dre deflated balls.
Forgot about
Yeah, that's right.
deflation.
Right here.
NWA.
Oh, it's Jimmy Kimmel.
Jimmy
This
Kimmel.
has got to be funny. He's the best
Seems
late
like
night.
there's always some
announcer,
kind of
hands
a
down.
controversy leading up to the Super Bowl. And this year, it's a weird one. The NFL has found that 11 of the 12 footballs provided by the Patriots in Sunday's AFC Championship game were underinflated by 2 pounds, which for football or an Olsen twin, that is a lot. So the way it works is each team provides the officials with 12 footballs before every game, and the balls are supposed to be inflated between 12.5 and 13.5 pounds. The referee inspects the balls before the game, and then he gives them back to the ball boys on each team. So each team uses its own footballs when they're on offense, which, by the way, makes no sense. The NFL should fine itself for that stupid policy. They should all the balls should be in one thing. So on Sunday, players for the Colts got suspicious in the third quarter when New England running back LeGarrette Blount folded the ball into thirds and stuffed it in his back pocket. The Patriots have denied any wrongdoing, but a lot of people think they deflated the balls to make it easier for their quarterback, Tom Brady, to grip. But what I wonder is, if this was intentional, who went to the trouble of meticulously deflating all of the footballs except for one? Did they think that would fool? So these 11 are no good, but this one's fine, so it must be an honest mistake. So the NFL is investigating, and when the NFL investigates, they always get it right. Now, it's hard to imagine it would have had any effect on the outcome of the game Sunday because the Patriots won 45-7, but it's beside the point. Cheating is cheating, and it's a serious issue. And to weigh in on it, we turn to someone who knows a lot about this sort of thing, so please pay attention.
It's a common problem that's too often overlooked. Every year, thousands of
Dr. Drew.
athletes suffer from
Talking
deflated
right
balls. Here's what you need to know. First, if you suspect your balls may be deflated, don't play with them. Instead, give your balls a gentle squeeze. Your balls should feel firm and bouncy. If your balls feel soft or mushy to the touch, show them to an official immediately. Remember, take care of your balls, and your balls will take care of you. Also, don't forget to check your testicles and your prostate from time to time. I'm Dr. Drew. Mushy.
This message brought to you by D's Nuts. D's, the salty nuts.
All right, so
Cialis was funnier.
you think that they should not play the Super Bowl, Brett? You think they should be disqualified?
Absolutely, I do.
Which I would be completely fine with because I fucking hate the Patriots anyway. And Jim, you're on the. They need to be disciplined next season. Suspensions all around.
I don't think you can just go out and say, yeah, we're gonna switch the Super Bowl up really quick.
Yeah, yeah.
That'd be a little insane.
Well, who else?
but-
Who
I
else
agree.
would deserve to play in it? You know,
Nobody.
not have a Super Bowl.
No, yeah, just have
Just the Pro Bowl.
Well, I'm saying
no,
if-
just say
If-
Seahawks
if they
world
cheat-
champions
if-
2015.
If you cheat in a game, you're disqualified, and whoever you're facing gets to advance because you cheated. Whether or not you're a better team or not, and you would have spanked the socks off them.
Yeah, but is there really anything wrong with cheating? Let's be honest.
Yeah. What's the saying? If you ain't cheating, you ain't trying.
You know what they should do now?
You know what else they say? Eating ain't cheating.
Okay.
They should replay the 01 Super Bowl.
Yes. Yes. I have it on tape
50-year-old
upstairs.
dudes just and Tom Brady.
Oh, you mean really, really replay? Oh, I guess, is he the last person left from that Super Bowl playing?
I'm not sure. He might be.
Is London Fletcher still playing football?
No, he retired.
He retired last year.
So I don't know about on the Patriots. I think for the Rams, definitely.
Yeah.
I don't think
I think so. He's got to be the last person left.
he was a rookie that year, wasn't he? So that would make sense.
Yeah. Or he was. I think he was a rookie the year before, but he didn't play
Oh,
because they had Drew Bledsoe.
oh,
But
wow.
man, fuck them.
It's
Rick.
so ridiculous. And Jimmy Kimmel said it best. The NFL, like, I think they turn a blind eye to some things, and then other things they hammer down on. I think you have to be more unanimous and more just across the board. Just
Can you yell into your mic? Just I want to see
be
something.
more across the board.
Okay. I just want to
Fuck
make sure you're
people
getting
up.
picked up.
Fuck them with the long dick of the law.
Or in your case, the short dick of the Brett.
That didn't even make sense.
That made
He
perfect
was
sense.
saying you had a small penis.
I don't know
Yeah,
if you
but
want
and
to
a,
short
and
dick
a
of the
small
bread.
mind, obviously.
Way to not be clever with your joke, Jeff.
It was pretty clever.
So,
You look like a complete moron.
did you
right
guys
now,
want to
Brett.
get some more conspiracies?
Yeah.
You look like a
so we did
barn
the
owl.
football.
Yeah, how about
Jeff? What's yours?
I was gonna say. Well, I mean, there's a lot of older ones. I mean, are we looking for?
I just want to put on the
something new?
record that Jeff Qualls looks like a barn owl, and every time I see a
That's
barn
funny. He does
I-
look like a barn owl.
Okay. Well, I don't get it. But
Oh my god.
owl. Oh wait, that's the screeching owl. Sorry.
Katie has her fantasy. She turns you into an owl.
Katie's
Yeah.
Katie's more of a cat, and he's a barn owl.
Who? Oh, Katie. Okay.
Oh yeah, that's all right.
Who?
all right,
Oh,
so
yeah.
I don't know. Why don't we talk about JFK? That's the
Ooh.
big,
Oh,
probably the biggest
that's a
one.
big one.
fucking good one.
I've probably watched every documentary there is about.
Did you see the
JFK.
one-
I always have
Fine.
sex, kind of how he went out, like it's just back and to the left,
Did you
back and to the left.
Did you see
Back
the
to
one
the
where they pretty much proved that it was Secret Service that accidentally shot him with an
That was-
AR-15?
I mean, it's once again, it's just another theory.
What is-
but yes, the one of the Secret Service agents had an AR-15 in the car, and
Oh, the driver?
I think
a
back
video
then-
no,
that
no, he
was-
he
okay.
wasn't a driver. He was
Yeah,
in, he
back
was in
then
the,
they had AR-15s and M4s with the collapsible stocks and EOTech sights. I think back then they had all kinds of stuff, right?
They had AR-15s in the fucking. they
Yes,
had
of course they
AR-15s
did.
back then.
What the is he trying to argue that? I don't
I don't
understand
know.
what he's
No,
doing.
just, like,
He's
Anyway,
being a
the
fan.
the guy in the or Secret Service vehicle behind JFK had like I don't know 5 or 6 agents, and one of them had an AR-15. And they, I guess for protection, they wanted to have one. It was loaded, round chambered, and everything. And what had happened is that apparently they heard the shot come from the depository, and he looked and kind
no.
of freaked out, and he stood up and
What's
accidentally
that?
fired the rifle and blew his brains out.
Bang.
So,
So-
that's
Wasn't
one of the
Wasn't he hit
theories.
twice though? Wasn't he hit
Well,
in the
they're
throat?
saying
Back.
that.
Yeah, no,
the-
he
to
would
the left.
the fatal shot. They're saying
Oh,
that
okay.
basically that Lee Harvey shot
money
him
shot.
once, and that was the one I guess that
Went through his neck.
and hit the governor. And then the fatal blow was from the Secret Service agent when he stood up and shot the AR-15 in the back of his head.
But they showed. I saw that the bullet that was in that was in Lee Harvey Oswald's gun could not have made the fatal shot. It was too big of a bullet that it had to be a 221 or whatever the fuck goes in.
Yeah, I mean, there's a lot of
223 or
That's it.
5.56.
223. That was
If
it.
it's a NATO round, it's a 5.56.
You think it'll be one of those things that we just never know, or do you think eventually something?
No,
will
that's
I think
actually
we'll
what I was
know.
going to talk about. There's a certain year they're waiting for it to release information that it'll be accessible to the general public. They're just waiting for, and this will kind of sway your opinion a little bit more about it. They're waiting for everyone that was alive or that could possibly be alive during that event
I
to
heard
be
that
dead.
too. I don't
To be
know.
dead, and then they release.
Yeah, I don't know if that's true, but I've
Yeah.
heard that.
I've heard that, but
Yeah, there's a
knows?
little bit more to it than that, but I've heard that too. But I don't think there's any. I mean, I think there's
I
other
think
things.
there's
in the
gonna be
government
something-
that
the
does.
reason for that. though,
Something
you know?
will
I
come
mean,
out.
Yeah, you have to look for a motive. What would be?
Government, maybe like a development of a country and
Yeah,
what he could have
wasn't-
possibly done and how powerful of a leader he was. I don't know.
I mean, for them to wait for everyone to be dead that was alive,
because
then.
maybe they did some
mean,
shit that's
100
going to enrage the
I
entire
mean, but what is the
nation.
people really going
And-
to do about it?
Not trust their government and say, you know
Really?
what,
Because
fuck
that's already
these guys.
happening.
Yeah, that's true.
And it would just be icing on the cake at this point. They'd be like, all right, they've done this to their
Did you
own
say
president.
cake?
Why would we follow
you
them?
say cake?
Why would we vote? Why would we even follow their rules? Fuck them. We make our own rules. Luxembourg this shit.
It's funny how
For those of you that don't know what Luxembourg is, they make their own laws and they govern
Thank you, Brett.
them
We
own
needed that
themselves.
explanation.
Okay, just to throw that out there.
it's funny how like pretty much up until the Vietnam War, like everyone like trusted the government, like loved the government, was like all about I don't know about so much the government but America. And after I guess it was after Vietnam that people started saying, what the fuck? What's
Yeah.
going on with
Well,
these
because
guys?
things were working. I mean,
Yeah.
you could like we talked. I think it was me and you that were talking about this. That when our grandparents were our age, there was one job in the household. They all could afford 3 or 4 kids. They all afford houses and cars. And then now it's like both parents need to work. The kids need to be in daycare, and you barely make it. I mean, you live check to check.
Yep.
And it's
Like you were saying on the last podcast, you got to go to school till you're 30 to be able to
to do anything.
pay for yourself. Live.
It's everything is in. It's like we're gambling, and the government is the house. Like everything's in their favor, and we're just playing against every odd.
Yeah.
And it just seems like they keep stacking the cards against us. But you can only do that for so long, and I mean that's when revolutions happen.
Yep. Well, so what is your guys' belief on I don't know on the plot? Do you think it was the government? Do you think it was Lee Harvey? Do you think it was? I mean, do you really think it was just some guy, ex-Marine, that went crazy, or was he set up, or
There's too many things that happen that would, like, if you put them on made stats of them, that would just be astronomically. Like the fact that one guy did it, he did it how he did it, he got murdered literally right after he did it. Like, what are the odds of all this shit just happening all in a row?
Here's the way I'd put it. I'd say about 75% chance it was the CIA, 20% chance it was some other government organization, 1% chance it was maybe the Russians or something, and then 4% chance it was Lee Harvey Oswald.
That's probably
I think
a
it
good
was the
bet.
CIA, but
Yeah.
I mean,
I think Kennedy was against the status quo. He wasn't just going to do everything they said, and Lyndon Johnson would. He would do anything that they told him to. So you kill the president, and then you put the puppet in, and then when that worked so well, they just kept putting puppets in. Like, we've had puppets ever since that just do exactly what the is he crying up there?
Yeah, I woke her.
You woke him up?
Yeah.
You dick.
No, I really didn't.
Oh.
Nikki says I didn't, but I think I did.
Oh. Anyway.
what were you saying? Because you're making a good point, I think.
Yeah, I forgot now.
Well,
I do that a lot.
I believe that.
Oh, that,
Well, yeah,
that
go
we
back.
put puppets into presidency ever
Yeah.
since
You know what I
Kennedy.
believe?
For sure.
I believe the children.
I don't think I don't think anybody really actually knows about JFK too. That he had a severe back problems, like horribly. Where actually, you guys all heard of Dr. Feelgood, right?
Yeah.
That's a doctor comes here and fucking pumps you up with medicine. Well, he was getting like 2 to 3 injections a day.
Dang.
like Demerol mixed with horse tranquilizer and cocaine. I don't know. I mean, I'm just saying he actually was in so
dude
much pain.
knew
His
how
back
to
was
party.
so fucked up, but he never showed it. Never ever showed it.
He was a man.
Yeah, and a true fucking patriot. And
The amazing thing about him was he literally saved the world.
Yeah,
I mean, pretty
yeah.
much.
Literally saved the world.
Yeah.
Man,
during
nobody
that
really
Cuban
realized that.
Missile
Yeah,
Crisis,
nobody
like,
really realizes that.
all of the people telling him, the generals and all that, they're like, we need to strike Cuba, and he's like,
No,
we can't do it.
not yet. Dick.
And for whatever reason, he didn't go in, because if he did,
It would have been fucked.
we wouldn't be here today, most likely.
God,
Yep.
that's crazy to
Just
think.
insane. I remember, this is kind of a funny story. I didn't really know about I know we learned about it, but I guess I just wasn't paying attention. But I was watching the History Channel. It wasn't even that long ago, probably 6-7 years ago. And they're talking about the Cuban Missile Crisis. And I'm watching. I'm like, what? I'm like, oh, my
This happened?
God. Oh, my God. I'm like,
Yeah, it's crazy
No
to think.
way.
In
that
Jim's
we were
voice.
that close.
Oh,
Have you ever heard that recording of JFK talking about secret societies?
oh, yeah.
That thing is creepy.
That
No,
is
I don't think
insane.
so. I don't
It
think
was
I've
Just
ever
try
heard
to
that.
find that and just play the beginning.
Yeah,
because the
it's
beginning
pretty
part-
long.
The
But
beginning part is
it's long, smooth shaft.
it's really really creepy.
It's like he figured. I think that's why I think it's the government that killed him too. It's like he figured something out, and like a lot of people think that he was gonna like kind of blow the lid off something, and that's another reason why people think he was killed. But yeah, that speech is.
It's freaky.
I think that
Here-
speech might be the reason why he was killed.
It could be. Could really be. I mean, I definitely think that they're puppeteers that are making everything work the way that it works. But here's one that says full version. I'll just click this one.
Remarks of the President to the American Newspaper Publishers Association.
I wish I could find.
Waldorf Astoria Hotel, New York.
Hold on. Let me see something real quick. There's one.
Probably,
That,
you only need to probably play the first minute or two, but. Was this really 10 days before he was killed?
I really
Ladies
hope.
and gentlemen, the very word secrecy is repugnant in a free and open society. And we are, as a people, inherently and historically opposed to secret societies, to secret oaths, and to secret proceedings. For we are opposed around the world by a monolithic and ruthless conspiracy that relies primarily on covert means for expanding its sphere of influence, on infiltration instead of invasion, on subversion instead of elections, on intimidation instead of free choice. It is a system which has conscripted vast human and material resources into the building of a tightly knit, highly
dramatic
efficient
music
machine
Yeah, I like
that
music.
combines military, diplomatic, intelligence, economic, scientific, and political operations. Its preparations are concealed, not published. Its mistakes are buried, not headlined. Its dissenters are silenced, not praised. No expenditure is questioned, no secret is revealed.
How true is
That
all
is
of
why
this
the
today?
Athenian lawmaker Solon decreed it a crime for any citizen to shrink from controversy. I am asking your help in the tremendous task of informing and alerting the American people.
There
Confident
it is right there.
that with
Yep.
your
That's
help,
why he's killed.
man will be what he was born to be, free and independent.
Now they're showing clips of his assassination.
Yeah, did you guys know that some people think that Mrs. Kennedy was trying to help the Secret Service agent onto the car on the assassination, but in reality, she was actually scooping up some of his brain matter onto the back of the car. You see her reaching back after he was shot.
Because just from shock, like just because she wanted pieces of him, or what?
No, but just because she was like, "Oh my God, he's broken. I need to, I'm
Yeah,
gonna fix
yeah,
him." And
yeah.
she was grabbing pieces of his head.
And I'm sorry, I didn't mean to cut you off, Jim. But in crazy moments like that, where your body's in shock and you witness that and you're in shock, like you do crazy things. Like for instance, when my dad had his head run over by the trailer being pulled by the tractor, and all the people were on it, during the hayride. They said all of his teeth and all of his eye, Jesus Christ, all of his teeth and his eye came out, popped out, like
Yeah.
it was crushed in the wheel, and it was just bleeding all over the place. My dad was fully conscious. He was scooping up mud and shoving it into his head,
Like
into
trying
his,
to fix his
trying to
face.
stop the blood, and just like I gotta stop this bleeding. And he's shoving it in his eye socket, in his mouth.
Oh, man.
They said he was just shoving all this mud, and kind of smart, really. But I mean, your body just goes into
Instincts
a
take
basic
over.
survival mode. And who would think that? Oh, your head just got run over, your eye and all your teeth fell out. How are you even going to process anything? But your basic level of survival
It's
comes
just
in.
instinct from
Yeah.
there.
Yeah.
So maybe that's what she was experiencing.
And
So
in that speech, he said, "Dissenters are what did he say? It was they're not praised, they're hidden." I the first thing I
Its
thought of
mistakes
was
are buried,
Edward Snowden.
not
Yeah.
headlined.
here it is.
Its dissenters are silenced.
Dissenters are silenced,
praised.
not praised. And
No,
that was the
it's-
first thing I thought it was. Edward Snowden,
Dissenters?
like, yeah, like
Dissenters, yeah.
just like people who are against the establishment. But it's so true. Like everything he said in that speech is happening right now.
yeah, it's already there. I wonder if JFK were alive today, what he would say about America.
I think America would be different if he wouldn't have been assassinated.
No, I'm saying if he were his
Good
age
point.
then, now, today, right here, think he'd be assassinated again?
Well,
That's kind of hard to say
I-
because we're a totally different time.
I really think that they've been breeding these presidents ever since then. I think once they saw, hey, this really works, let's just pay for presidents and we'll get them in and they'll be our puppets. And
What I don't get is why, like, I'm not very politically inclined. I don't know shit about it. But why do the people vote if the Electoral College takes, like, it takes precedence
There's
over
still
it?
a percentage
Well,
that
yeah.
the
The Electoral
population
College
deals
is
with.
supposed to follow the American vote,
Yeah.
which they don't always, but usually they do.
yeah, if so, like for instance,
Why can't it just be straight up black and white? The people decide.
That's probably what it should be.
Like no other deciding
Like
percentages.
in 2000,
Just
Gore probably should have won.
Yeah, was
like
it he
just
won the
straight
popular?
up, straight up
Yeah, he won the
population of
popular.
the people. This is what the people want. This is what the people get. That's it. No other influences. Nothing.
Yeah, and that happens most of the time. Usually when you win, except for Gore. I mean, that's the only time that's
I'm
ever
surprised
happened.
They didn't change it after that. For real.
Yeah.
I mean, it's like we got a president we didn't vote
We
for.
didn't. Yeah,
Which I don't think Gore would have been any better than Bush, but
yeah, that's true. I just think they're all the same. They're all the fucking same.
and who was the president? I think it was Eisenhower before JFK that said to beware of the military-industrial complex.
Yeah,
that
yeah.
was like in the 50s.
Yeah,
you know?
that's crazy.
It's insane. And now that's
We're there.
That's what we are.
Yeah.
We go to war with. That's what we do.
We're a war
I-
machine.
I really have this idea that they're in a panic. That this system is literally a house of cards that can fall at any moment, and they're doing the most extreme things that to enable to keep it up. Like the dollar's about to fucking go out. All these fucking oil tycoons, they're wanting to trade in gold instead of dollars, and we're like, fuck. If they do that, we're all fucked. We're going to become this horrible third world country. Take out those fucking dictators. Put in our own people. Like I really think that everything is so unstable right now. That's that they have to do it.
but
and
at
if-
least
and-
we have football.
Yeah, and that's the thing. If we want this standard of living, maybe this is the thing that they have to do. They have to kill people, and they have to go to war, and they have to do these things. And if we don't want to be able to sit here in air conditioning, then
Yeah, I mean, who knows really on the back, the backside of it, what's really happening? Who knows what sacrifices other people are making to get
Why
to
is
where we're at?
your dog going nuts?
Carl and Rick are here.
Yeah,
Fucking
I kind
Carl.
of think like,
Fucking Carl's coming.
Why is your fucking phone going nuts? That's the question.
My wife's having contractions right now.
Oh,
How far
Braxton
along is
Hicks.
she?
I don't know, like third trimester or some point.
Well,
she's
what's
like
that months?
she's like
I
29
think like
weeks.
250 months.
So
She's
in
like 2.5 months.
She's been. I think she just
Yeah,
got
2.5 months away from let's see, April 11th, March 11th,
carry the one.
February 11th. Yeah, she's like 2.5 months away
From having your baby.
from due date.
And it's a girl?
Yes, it is a girl. I don't know if it's going to be human or not. We're
Hey,
still waiting.
ladies. Where's Caleb at?
We're still waiting to see if it's human or not. So
He's smoking.
might be
a
half
pussy.
gorilla from her dad.
You guys
Like
want
it-
to take a break right now? Or?
Yeah, let's break it.
'Cause I got to urinate.
I fucked that, guys. So excited.
And we're back.
And we are back.
Sweet.
It's the beauty of technology. It was like an hour break, but it's going
To
seem
you
like
guys,
nothing.
it was nothing.
Lucky them.
You know, I've had
we
my-
watched a whole
We
movie.
do this for you guys.
Hey, let me invite Rick onto the podcast. Rick, would you like to say hello to our 2 listeners?
It's 3.
And well, it's
I got a couple people
Jim,
from my work to actually start listening.
Oh my God, I better watch
Jim
the,
and Chrissy.
language.
Jim and Chrissy are our 2 listeners right
Hey,
now.
hey, I'm gonna post this to my Facebook, so I'll probably get like 5 more guys.
That's
Dude,
awesome.
I might get 2. I'm gonna post it to mine. Who can
You
I
should,
find?
whenever you have your kid, play this at night as she
When
falls
she
asleep.
falls asleep.
Yeah.
She'll be well versed in great vocabulary.
Daddy's a dirty bastard.
All right, so who wanted to start on the
Um,
aliens?
I definitely want to start this off
Go.
just because I'm so excited about it. Area 51's always been something that's just intrigued me. You know, it's just so fascinating. The security companies that work there. I don't know if it's Wayland or who it is that works out there. I don't think it is, but I know there's a security company that's hired around the base. And anytime you trip up one of these sensors that's like miles away from the base out in the middle of nowhere, I mean, they rush up on you, SUV, locked, cocked, ready to rock. I mean, they are ready to rock and roll, and they are on you within minutes. It's a very, very intense place. How I know this, I was watching a show. I don't know if anybody...
I'm sorry, but how I know this, I was watching a
the
show.
whole time I was listening, I'm thinking, was he there? Like, this is...
Okay, before I go into that, so you actually believe me what the fuck I'm saying, I knew a guy who was out in Las Vegas. He was in the Guard. He was in the Nevada National Guard. Went to AIT with him, and then talked to him later. You know, after say, hey, DeLuca. Oh shit, shouldn't have said his name. Fuck.
He's dead.
Hey man, how's it going? You know, and he told me about what he's been doing, and he's working private security out there, and
Why don't you
getting
tell his
on
whole
with
life
this-
story?
getting on with this company.
Why don't you put a
point,
social
Jesus.
security number on the thing?
It's like
But
every time
anyways,
you tell a
he's saying-
story, it's like 45 minutes of fucking fluff. Let's go.
Anyways, he eventually got on, and he said the process of getting on was so stringent. You remember that?
What was the process of getting off?
I bet it's even
Was it a
more
quick-
pleasurable.
Was it a quick 1, 2, 3?
I
or
think they
was there
build
a
up and they
process?
foreplay it. So he gets on with this company out there, and they do the security out there. And he said nobody knows each other's name. Like, if you've seen someone that works on the base,
So the opposite of Cheers.
yes, you don't know anybody. Like, you're just your own person. You can't tell your wife anything. Like, if they found out, I'm sure NSA has some sort of to do with it when they listen and shit. But anytime, like, your family members or anything, you tell any of them, they somehow find out, you're fired. You're basically not allowed to work anything with a security clearance above a secret anywhere. You're kind of blacklisted at that point. But it's just crazy of how he got on there and just describing it, not knowing anybody, and just walking past somebody. You see somebody for 3 years of your life, and you see him. I could see you, Jim. And I'd be like, I know who that guy is. I don't know who his name is, and you don't talk to him ever because you just don't. You're
Can
not
you
supposed
make
to.
up nicknames for each other?
Yeah, I'm sure
I
you could
guess
call
you
him
could, huh?
Mustache. Hey, Mustache.
Hey, douche. That was my nickname in high school.
Mine was Fag or Faggot.
I remember that.
Yeah, because we were the ones who started it.
All of you called me Faggot. So it was just crazy to hear all the stories, of him being out there, and he did confirm on any time the sensors would be tripped if someone's trying to get close to take pictures, and
Oh, yeah.
they'd be on them. I mean, within 30 seconds, they're rolling up on them. I mean, there's one ridge that's just far enough away from the sensors, like with, scopes and stuff, you could kind of see and make out the base, that it's because it's a dry lake bed out there. And you could see everything, but they still patrol that area, and you have to make it within a window to, kind of see something. And he said one thing, and this was actually on the show, so this was actually kind of cool to see. If you see a plane or I don't even know if it was a plane or what it was. I can't really say on that because I don't know. But something coming in to land, all the lights on the runway, boom, shut off before it lands. Everything just goes black out. You can't see anything.
Well, I mean,
Thing lands, it goes in there, goes into whatever hangar, wherever. I don't know where the fuck it goes, but when the lights come on, it's gone.
So that the people that work there can't see what it is?
Huh?
Is that the reason?
No, anybody that's trying to look onto it.
Does anybody know what the government actually states Area 51 is for now?
What's that?
They claim it's for experimental aircraft. They denied it existed until they found out that we're not a bunch of dumbasses and we can clearly see there's a base. Look from a fucking satellite. Anyway, now they state very plainly to everyone that it's for experimental aircraft. That's it.
I actually got to see some of it when I was in school, doing what I do, working with maps and all that.
You were there?
No, like I got to see some of the imagery.
Okay.
And it's pretty cool, just seeing all that and kind of being a part of that. But
Yeah, I can do that on Google Earth, and I don't even have to go to school.
So the movie
It's a little bit more in
depth, where they show Area 51 or what they think it is.
There's no way that was in.
But the funny thing about that is they were talking to government officials, trying to get, inside, knowledge like how to film certain things when it comes to, the base and all this, and or just anything to do with the movie. And the government said they would help them out if they just didn't include Area 51. Like they would let them use, whatever military copters they need to and all that stuff. And they're like, as long as they didn't include that part of the movie. So I thought that was crazy.
Yeah,
What movie was that? It's like a
Independence Day.
Independence Day.
Oh.
Yeah.
Will
Back
Smith?
in the 90s.
Jeff Goldblum.
Which, by the way, did you know they're making Independence Day 2?
What, really?
Without Will Smith?
They're coming back.
Is Bill Pullman still in it?
I think everyone else is still in it.
Randy Quaid is still in it.
We both said Randy Quaid at the same time. Randy fucking Quaid.
No,
What
but
does
I
he
was
say
watching
when he's flying into the spacecraft?
I'm back.
Yeah, well, I guess he would be dead, yeah.
I was watching the show Fact or Faked, and this guy who used to be an FBI agent takes any case that's disputed, whether it's fact or faked, and he investigates it with technology and whatever else, and he has a team of people, and he goes out and investigates and find out if it's real or not. They did an Area 51 where they go out there, and one team went up on that ridge where you can actually see the base. Now, from this far, you can't really tell a whole lot. There's not a whole lot you can really gather of information. So they're up there as like an overwatch, and then the other team goes in on the ground at night trying to get closer and get a closer look of everything. Lights are on the base and everything. And this is that part where, I was telling you about that somebody else had told me about, that when something comes in and lands, everything goes dark. So they're out there, night vision goggles, everything's out there. They have all their equipment out there. And I guess they trip up a sensor because they can see the SUV coming up on them. Well, right before this SUV's coming up on them, an aircraft is coming in. And the whole place just completely blackens out. The whole thing just completely dark. And then, bam, when the lights come on, you don't see the aircraft anymore. And then by that time, the security was up on them, and they're escorting them out, and all this stuff. And it's just crazy to think.
So what? I mean, just because can it just be military aircraft? Does
I
it
mean,
have to
it can be.
weapons?
I don't think it is. I think there's other shit. I mean,
Do you think the Martians are landing there? Like
at
that's-
Whiteman Air Force Base, they have all kinds of stuff like, hey, you can't you leave when you go on the tarmac, you have to leave your cell phone in a building. You can't have anything on you. They scan you, make sure you're not emitting any radio signals or whatever signal that your phone puts out. I don't fucking know. But they make sure all your electronics that can gather information is in this building. And you go out on the tarmac and you see the stuff in the hangars, and then there's other hangars that are closed that you can't see in. I mean, if Whiteman Air Force Base in the middle of BFE, Missouri, that isn't very top secret. I mean, it's not a very, big base or anything. If they have that kind of stuff, what would
You literally just put Jeff to sleep. You literally.
No, I really wasn't. I just.
What does Area 51 have that they're that secretive?
So let's get on to more of a conspiracy topic like
Yeah.
Roswell. Do you guys think that What do you guys think that was?
The coolest thing about that story is that it was reported as an alien aircraft.
And
I know, and then they took it back.
The
They're like, no,
government
no,
even
no, no.
said, shit, we
don't know what the fuck
Holy
this is.
shit. Yeah, I guess so. I guess it's fucking aliens.
And then
which
everybody's
is
like,
which is actually a good cover if it's some experimental.
That's
But-
one of my theories, that the alien conspiracy is the best thing that ever happened to Area 51.
Yeah.
Because then they can just kind of like, everybody's looking for this crazy shit when they're actually testing these deadly weapons.
But if there was aliens out there, if there is, which I believe,
I believe as well. I do. I believe.
Because if you think
Jeff.
about that, was the only time the government ever said, "Yeah, I think that might be aliens."
Yeah.
And
then
after
they're
that,
like,
they
oh,
never said that again.
It was
you know?
Clearly
actually
Tommy Lee
a weather
Jones.
balloon.
And it was only a couple people.
Like, what
actually
kind of
at
fucking
Roswell.
scientists go, holy shit, this is a UFO? And then 20 minutes later, like,
No, it wasn't them though that said it. There was
fucking-
it was
I remember
the original
reports,
upper
yeah.
ups. It
the
was
news
the upper.
report said that there's bodies recovered.
yeah.
So
yeah.
it's like,
and there was 3 bodies, one of which was
what
alive.
kind of weather balloons have
one of which
bodies?
was alive. Yeah, and one
Then-
of which, and not that all of them were dead.
Like
That's
the
what's so
news
interesting.
let's
reports-
count the
Yeah.
technological advancements since that and where it was before our technology.
Well, I think
mean,
the next
can
day
we-
cell
can we
phones were
attribute-
invented.
I mean, do you think there's anything that we could attribute?
It's actually it was something
to
on the alien. It was one of their
technology?
feet. They took it off. They're
They
like,
were
holy
actually,
shit, we can communicate
How
with
they
one another.
crashed, they were actually tweeting up there. That's how they crashed.
They had those
control.
huge gray fucking cell phones.
Yes.
Marsha, come
Why do you think the
Please
color's
come
gray? That why they call him gray. I mean, I'm telling you.
Zach Morris was an alien.
I truly do believe that there was an alien craft out there, and that there is still.
I mean, there's a lot of really interesting footage on the internet. Have you seen the one in? I believe it was actually Israel, if I'm not correct.
If
Where
you're not
they
correct?
if I'm correct, it came down
So
on
it's
top of the
anywhere
Dome of
but
the Rock.
Israel.
Wasn't it
could
on
be
top?
anywhere in the world, but not Israel.
Dome of the Rock, is that in Israel?
It's in one of the Holy Lands.
But I believe the alien craft comes above the Dome of the Rock, and then it's just hovering there, and it shoots off up into the sky. And that one was very compelling. There's a lot of really cool footage of
There's
so-called
cool shit
aliens.
out there, and
So
I think it's real.
Like the
100%.
skeptics will say about Roswell, they're like, so the aliens came, 400 trillion miles, and then once they got here, they wrecked. It's like, what?
Yeah, that would suck.
Well, the size of that craft would actually indicate that there must have been a larger ship.
Yeah.
Well,
that would
let's
had to
let's
have
look at
been,
this. I mean, what if the gravity from the planet that they're from is different? What if there's all kinds of different?
Pretty sure they would have made those calculations.
Yes, especially if they traveled that
you
far.
Think 100
Well,
years
what
from
if they're
now-
just they're an exploring?
I mean,
ship.
what if
They're
it was shot
scouting.
down?
They're a
I mean,
scouting ship.
what if the military shot it down?
I still think something that travels faster than the speed of light isn't
Yeah.
getting shot down by our fucking.
It wouldn't. Yeah,
1950s.
I agree, because how many light years that would take? Like even
Man,
if
it coulda-
something's 600 light years away, if you're traveling at the speed of light, it would take 7 generations of people roughly to make it there.
Well, what about all the hieroglyphs and stuff? That show alien crafts and stuff. I mean, how else would they have shown that?
They made the pyramids.
Well, I mean that's one of the things, but one of the specific hieroglyphs that I'm thinking of, or whatever, the wall paintings, whatever the hell they're called, the drawings, showed like alien battle, like an alien battle, like long ago.
I
and
think
they
Harrison
actually draw it
Ford
on
was there for that.
So
Seriously though,
Cowboys versus
that's
aliens,
one of the
anybody?
bigger. That's one of
That's
the
a good
big
one.
ones. That's one of the big ones, I believe.
Do you guys want to, pause this and come back to it? I feel bad that Rick and Carl are ready for us to fucking tear up the night.
We're about to wrap it up here soon. I mean,
it's only
Shun?
9:15.
Yeah.
The douche doesn't get going till 10.
yeah, you gotta get time. Give time for the douche.
We gotta find that video of those old chicks giving us lap dances.
Oh man,
Were any of you there for that?
What?
Josh's
that was at the douche?
bachelor party.
Josh's bachelor
Oh,
party?
yeah.
I was there. I don't remember
was there.
this.
I don't remember.
We
that
have
either.
video documentation of it.
Was
And
I
it's-
videotaping?
This lady was riding my fucking leg,
Yes,
and she's like, she's whispering this. in my
Wait,
ear.
is that when Jeff gave that one chick a piggyback ride? Is that what happened?
that was
No, I feel-
Josh.
That was
Josh. gave
Josh.
it.
Oh yeah.
She's like, "Am I making you hard?
Wait, what? She said that?
You are not making me hard."
She
And-
actually said that to
And
you?
then some really skinny guy walks up, and I say on the microphone, because we're doing karaoke, I go, "I really hope this isn't her fucking husband." And she whispers in my ear, "That's my husband." And I'm like, this is gonna get really fucked because he was like cracked out, fucking like she's this 300-pound, 5 foot nothing chick, and he's like a rail, fucking
Well, what's
6 foot.
what's
100
He was
perfect
probably
about him-
doing rails in the bathroom.
if they get sweaty enough, you don't really have to find the hole. You could just stick it anywhere and it's gonna work.
Just roll over in some flour, find the wet spot.
Yeah.
I don't do that. I don't do sex. It's too gross. I'm a neat freak.
I actually, never want to have sex again because I don't want to have kids again because just the
Wait
thought
until your
of
daughter hears this.
There's ways
No.
you can not have that happen.
Yeah.
no, the thought of like what's terrifying me is watching my daughter be born and like I feel like it's such a scarring event that it scares the shit out of me. Like, what if something goes wrong? What if my wife is in danger of losing her life? What if my child is in danger of losing her life?
1864.
Yeah, but still, I mean, it's
Like,
a
how'd he
scary
die,
fucking
Splinter?
Well, if,
Wrecked him, damn near killed him.
Had some dog hair on the placenta, and
if me and Carl lived 150 years ago, we'd both be dead right now.
Yeah.
We had staph infections.
Just because of the
That's
beards,
true.
actually, I
That's
believe.
true.
Just the beard. I'm
would
looking
be-
both of you.
Jim, we would be
Same
dead the
beard.
night we tried to time travel with Doc Brown in your house.
Murray,
Oh, yeah.
we gotta get back to 19.
I gotta tell the story real quick. I don't know if Mike's ever heard it.
I
sure
don't
he
think
has.
so. I don't think so.
So me, Carl, and Jim are at Carl's house or Jim's house, and Jim is like, "Hey man, my home is foreclosing. I don't give a fuck about this place, And that was the night he told me, and we all went back there, and he's like, "You know what? We're just gonna drink." And I was like, "Dude, let's do a power hour." And Jim's like, "All right." Now, and I got cocky. I said, "I could drink more than you and Carl can combined." So we start drinking. We're doing a power hour. We're like 40 minutes in, and we're doing Doc Brown impressions. Great Scott, Marty, we gotta get back to 1985 for Jenica Joseph. No, I can't do that one again.
Keep going. Keep going.
Well, she fucks any more dudes.
God.
So we're doing impressions, and then Jim's like, "Hey, let's turn up the heat in here. Let's see how uncomfortable we can get this." Don't know why this sounds like a good idea. But Jim goes over and starts cranking up the heat, right? His thermostat.
It was the winter time, by the way.
Yeah. His thermostat is high as and go. He's like, "We got to get this up to 88 degrees per hour." Time travel.
Dude, I turned the oven on and opened up the oven.
It's so hot.
Brett
And
was
it's-
finally like, dude, I can't do
Hey,
it.
hey, the oven open is the white trash heater.
Yeah,
Dude,
definitely.
We were sitting. I think we ended up in our boxers still drinking
Oh
at the
my
table.
God.
I opened up
That
the
got really weird.
I opened up the front door. It's like 30 degrees outside. It
Jim-
took like half an hour to cool the
Jim
house
is
down.
shaking full beer cans after we're wasted and throwing them about his fucking apartment, right? I mean, he took a full beer can, threw it at his thermostat, crushed the thermostat, and broke it.
Actually,
Then he
Carl
threw-
told me about that the other day.
And then he
Yeah.
threw
I
electric
don't
tape.
think it was a full beer can.
Well, maybe it was like a half
It,
full.
it was like an empty beer can, but it cracked the thermostat.
That must have been
it
a
was
hard
still-
throw
it
if
was-
it was an empty beer can.
Well, I mean,
It had some
dude,
liquid
if I
in
threw
it.
a full beer can at the thermostat, it would destroy it. It was just like
That reminds me of a. Oh man, I hate. I always have to bring up Louis C.K. jokes, but it reminded me. Of a
Well,
Louis
he's
CK joke.
hilarious, that's
he
why.
Is fucking hilarious. He was talking about his daughter had a black eye.
A black guy?
Yeah, he was
Oh,
not
God.
impressed.
Oh, boy.
She had a black eye, and he was at an ice cream shop, and he said everybody kept looking at him, and he's like, "These fucking people think like I hit her in the eye and then took her to get ice cream." So she was and he's thinking, he's like, "Are you fucking kidding me? Look how big I am. If I'd have punched her, she'd be fucking disintegrated. She
She'd
wouldn't have
be
a fucking
dead.
black eye. She'd be fucking dead." I was like, "Fuck you, people."
So true, though. I mean, you hit a toddler, he's probably gonna die.
dude. It was a funny thing. We were watching. Have you guys ever watched the first 48?
Yeah,
We were watching
Yeah.
that, and some guy murdered a person. in
they
19
usually do that on
in
that
19
show.
I think that's kind of the whole
Anyway,
concept of the show.
Brick killed the guy.
He murdered someone in 1990 and got out of jail in 2010. And I looked over at Alice and I said, "You know, I could murder you right now, and I'd be out of jail in 20 years."
I'd only be 48.
Worth it. That's
Yeah,
totally
I
worth
would
it.
be. I would still be kind of, not really that old.
Yeah.
Yeah,
You
still
just have
got
to make
the back
it.
half,
And
the
then
back
she
9
said,
to go.
She said, "My dad's a lawyer, so he'll make sure
Oh,
you get the death
yeah.
penalty." I was like,
Yeah, don't piss off Eric Stuhler. He will make sure you get fucked. I'm pretty sure I still owe him money for Lindenwood because he's a
What?
lawyer. He's like the finance lawyer, isn't it? Isn't that what he does? Like does like the finances
He's
and
a
shit.
lawyer for Lindenwood. I think he just
The general counsel.
Just general lawyer
Yeah.
in general.
yeah.
Yeah, I think
He's
I owe
loaded.
him money, and I think he. I'm supposed to.
Well,
be
you owe
paid.
Lindenwood money, not
Yeah.
him.
Yeah.
Well, I'll just give it to him.
He doesn't
Say-
give
He's
a
getting
shit.
paid no matter
Yeah,
what.
he-
I'll take
he
it
gets
from the.
paid.
I'll lock him up in the Federal Reserve.
Oh, now
Quote-
that's a conspiracy.
There's a
Quote-
fucking
there you go.
conspiracy for you.
It's a quote
We
from
should
the other
have talked
guys.
about that.
Oh, dude, that's. I started
we
talking.
need to do a part 2. I think.
Yeah, let's end this and do a part 2.
Hold
Yeah.
on.
We're at an hour and fucking
There's
20
so
minutes.
many goddamn
Yeah, there's way
conspiracies.
too many.
I think
We
we should
should.
next
We
time.
should
Let's
do
do
a
a little
part
bit of
2.
research and do a part 2.
All right, let's do a part 2. But hey, we voting Jim's fucking in though.
Absolutely.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
I
Yeah,
think
actually, I
that.
talked to Josh, and he says that
He can't do it anymore.
Do it
Yeah.
on weekends. No, that he
Wow.
said
So
he can't do it
how
on
about-
weekends, and I'm thinking, okay, well, so you want
Jim's
us
more
to
of a
conform to
personality,
you.
anyways. I mean, I'm not no diss against Josh.
If we
but
could only find a
Hey.
replacement for Brett. Any of you guys,
You
with
guys
couch
want to get on
shirt?
in here? You're on it. As soon as you put the headphones on, you're good to go.
I'm the worst person to be behind a fucking microphone. Are you kidding
yes,
me?
I know you've proven yourself numerous times.
Hey, no talking shit on Josh because he's a quarter of our listeners.
No, I like Josh, and Josh. What sucks is I'm so like I get it. He can't make it, but I'm just so upset that he can't be here because he is like the dude that I've talked so many conspiracy theories with, and me and him just gone on for hours and hours when we lived together on conspiracy theories,
Yeah.
and he's the
Oh.
best person
And
to
you
be
were-
here for this.
Hour.
yeah.
Yeah,
when
we were
we
supposed
used to-
to. Oh shit, we were supposed to call him.
Whoops.
Give him a call. Give him a call. Just
no,
real
dude,
quick.
No.
Come on, one call.
No.
He won't
Well,
answer the
that's
phone. I guarantee he won't
Nah,
answer the phone anyway. He
Dude,
won't.
we're
answer.
an hour and 21 minutes. We're doing a part 2.
All right. Well, thank you very much, guys, for
Well,
listening.
I still say me and Jim, and we still do the news anchor cast, the drunk weekly news.
Hey,
still to come.
I don't
in
mind
the
going
works.
longer next time. I mean, when we don't have company.
Yeah. Oh, for sure.
Why
I
you
mean,
gotta
pretty
talk
much
to 'em
all
like
of them have
they're
lasted about
fucking-
2 hours.
I'm
I
down
think.
for going fucking
3
Joe
hours.
Rogan 3 hours.
Yeah,
Mhm.
dude. I listened to Joe Rogan today. That's the best fucking
You
show.
beat off to it,
He
don't
is.
you?
He's the
I
best.
do. He's hot.
You know what's weird? I go
bet he has
go
a
through the
fat cock.
podcast and like who's above him, and I'm
Uh-huh.
like, these all suck ass.
Yeah.
How is he not number one?
I've been
you know?
told the Adam
guess 'cause of the
Carolla
language.
one's really good.
Yeah, I
but
haven't listened to it. I should probably give it
I
a
haven't
chance.
listened to it either. Actually, Dan Hopkins told me that Adam Carolla one's the
Yeah.
one he listens to.
I'm
Josh,
gonna-
wish
I'm
you were
like,
here. Josh,
Dan wanted to
wish
do
you
this.
were here.
Yes, we do wish. I actually went over to his house and talked to him, tried convincing him to come, but
With your hand or mouth?
combination of both.
That's a real fucking friend.
I know.
Faggot.
All right, so we're sounding off.
Fucking
We're gonna come at you with part 2. But
By
I'll
the
get-
way,
I'll
I
get
just want to
this
say on the
one
record
uploaded.
before we hang this up, I want to talk about the last thing whenever you guys did without me. Die Hard should have been in the Final Four versus
Die Hard
with a
1?
Vengeance. Yes, I'm sorry.
Well, guess what? You
Not
weren't
only that,
here.
Bad Boys 2 should have made Final
Okay,
Four.
well, guess what? You weren't here and you didn't answer your phone. So if you want your fucking input, boom, that's what you
Bad
gotta
Boys
do.
2. At
Boom
bare
goes the
minimum,
dynamite.
Final
Let's
Bam.
sign off.
Eight.
All right.
Sign off.
See ya, brothers.